It was a muggy summer evening in Atlanta, the kind where the heat clings to your skin like shame and the clouds hang low like secrets. Officer Elijah Brooks had just finished his 12-hour shift, his navy blue uniform now wrinkled, his badge dull by the sweat of duty, and his spirit worn from carrying the weight of being both a cop and a black man in America. Elijah wasn't new to duality. He'd grown up in the heart of the city's Zone 3, where police sirens were lullabies and streetlights were the only guardians some kids ever knew. His mother, a church secretary, used to say, "You've got to be twice as good just to get half as far." He never forgot that. Even when he joined the force, even when he earned Officer of the Month 3 times, even when he saved a child from a burning car last spring. That night, Elijah had taken the back streets home, hoping to avoid traffic. He pulled into a corner gas station, just a quick stop for some Gatorade and to stretch his legs. He still wore his full uniform, badge visible, gun holstered, name tag shining under flickering lights. As he stepped inside, nodding at the cashier, he didn't notice the eyes watching him from a squad car parked on the far side of the lot. Officers Daniels and Whitmore were new to the precinct. Reassigned from a quieter, suburban district, they'd been itching for action. They saw Elijah's patrol car parked at an odd angle near the curb and watched him walk into the store. "Looks like someone playing dress-up," Daniels muttered. "No one in our unit drives that make of car." Whitmore adjusted his belt. "You think it's a stolen uniform?" "Could be. Let's check it out." They didn't call it in. They didn't run the plates. They didn't even bother to wait for backup. They just got out and walked in. Inside, Elijah had just finished paying. The cold bottle of Gatorade sweated in his hand as he turned toward the door and found himself staring down two officers with their hands hovering over their weapons. "Sir," Daniel said sternly, "step outside. We need to speak with you." Elijah blinked. "I'm sorry. Outside. Now." Elijah noticed the aggression in their eyes. He lifted his hands, confused but calm. "Is there a problem?" "Don't play games. Let's go." "Officer Elijah Brooks, badge 14872, Zone 6, he said, tapping his badge with his thumb. "I just got off shift." Daniel scoffed. "You expect me to believe that?" Whitmore's radio crackled in the silence. Elijah's heart pounded. His eyes darted to cashier, a young Latino man who looked frozen, unsure whether to speak or disappear. "I can show you my ID if you want." But Daniels already had his handcuffs out. "Turn around. Now." "I'm a cop." "Turn. Around." The click of the cuffs behind his back felt like betrayal. Outside, they pushed him against the hood of his own car. Elijah didn't fight. He knew better. He'd arrested kids who didn't get the chance to say a word. He'd heard the stories. Hell, he'd lived them. But he never thought not in uniform. People began to gather some recording with phones. A woman shouted, "He's a cop, man. Look at his uniform." But Daniels wasn't listening. Neither was Whitmore. Elijah tried again. "Check my ID. It's in my left pocket." Daniels fished it out. Read the name. Looked at the face. Looked back at Elijah. And that was when the shame crept in, not just for the officers, but for Elijah, too, because he saw the disbelief in their eyes melt into embarrassment, not remorse, not apology, just inconvenience. Whitmore uncuffed him. "Sorry for the mix-up," he mumbled. Elijah didn't respond. He looked at the growing crowd, at the teenagers holding their phones high, at the little black boy peeking from behind his mother's skirt, eyes wide. Elijah nodded at the boy. Then he got in his car and drove off. That night, he sat on the edge of his bed, staring at the wall. The TV played in the background. Some news anchor talking about another police reform bill that would likely die in committee. His phone buzzed texts from fellow officers who'd seen the videos now going viral. Some offered support. A few joked, "Damn, Brooks, you got profiled by your own team?" He turned the phone over, then sat in silence. Because Elijah Brooks had always believed in the badge, believed it could mean something, that if he wore it with integrity, if he stood in the gap between justice and abuse, he could be part of the change. But that night, handcuffed in full uniform, he learned what his mother had tried to warn him. Some uniforms don't protect you. Some skins you can't take off. And the real uniform America sees first before the badge, before the name tag is your skin. This story is not just about one officer's humiliation. It's about a nation that demands black men prove their worthiness, even when they were the very symbols of authority. It's about how bias runs so deep, it can blur the eyes of those trained to see with clarity. And it's about how justice is still unevenly served even to those who serve it. In the end, Elijah Brooks is not just a cop. He is a mirror, and what we see in that mirror, how we treat those who wear the badge and those who are born in black skin, says more about us than it ever will about him.